Hi, I'm Sam Strick. We're going to learn how to play Province, a competitive building microgame for 2 players. First, let's go over the game's pieces. There's the board, each player's structure tokens, goals, ship tokens, your money, and various meeples. The goal of Province is to have the most victory points by the time the game ends. The game ends when one of 3 things has happened. One of each structure has been built, one player has built 7 structures, or all of the goals have been completed. Setup is simple. Shuffle the goals face down and stack them. Then, each player takes all of the structure tokens of one color, either red or blue. Place all of the coins at the bottom of the board, then put 1 green worker on each space of the workweek rondel. Place the other meeples, the ship tokens, and the lender coin off to the side for now. Then, to decide who goes first, cup one of the ship tokens in your hand and shake it. Have your opponent call black or white. Cast the ship token as you would a die. If your opponent called it correctly, they will go first. Otherwise, you go first. The player who goes first starts with 2 coins, and the player who goes second takes 3. Once you're ready to play, turn the first goal face up. The game is broken into 2 simple phases: the worker cycle phase and the resource spending phase. During the worker cycle phase, you may move any workers you have access to around the work week. On a turn, you have to move at least 1, and they can only move 1 space per turn. When a worker lands on a space, they earn you 1 of that resource. Workers who don't move don't earn anything. If they land on a hammer, you earn 1 labor for that turn. If a worker lands on a $sign, you earn 1 coin. You'll have access to other workers by the end of the game, but for now you'll just have these 3. Now that we've cycled workers, it's time for the resource spending phase. If you have the labor and money for it, you can build a structure. Some structures require others to be built before they can be built. So if I had 4 labor and 6 coins, I could build the camp. But if I haven't built the camp yet, I can't build the village. Structures like this are denoted by an arrow that points from one structure to the next. If you're the first person to build a structure of a certain kind, place your structure adjacent to that space. If you're the second, place it next to whoever built it first. You only earn victory points for structures that were built first. Structures that are further out don't earn any victory points. Once you get access to a structure, it'll end up modifying how you play in one way or another, either by increasing your earnings or by giving you access to an ability or workers you didn't have access to before. Let's go over each structure's effect. And remember, only the player who built a structure has access to its effects. The camp and the village each unlock a new worker meeple to use. This will increase your overall labor and money earnings per turn on the workweek cycle. The mill and the smithy earn you 1 labor per turn. The union allows you to spend 2 coins to get 1 labor. If your strategy leaves you with a lot of excess cash, this is a useful structure to have access to. The lender gives you access to the lending coin, which allows you to temporarily use an opponent's structure. If you've built the lender, you may use an opponent's structure for 1 turn, and then you take the lender coin. Until you've paid off the lender coin, you can't use it again. Paying off the lender coin either requires paying 3 coins, or having your opponent borrow something from you, which would have them take the lender coin. Once you've built the bank, each time a worker lands on the $sign on the workweek rondel, you earn 2 coins instead of 1. The harbor gives you access to ship tokens. Once it's been bought, take the 2 ship tokens and shake them and cast them as you would dice. Depending on how they land, the harbor brings different resources. It can earn you 1 labor, 1 coin, or give you the opportunity to hire a sailor off the harbor for 3 coins. Per game, there are only 3 sailors that are available, so they'll definitely be in demand. The player who first built the harbor then has the responsibility to cast ship tokens at the beginning of their turn. Lastly, you can always grind. This is an action you always have access to. It's not tied to a structure. And there's a little tab at the bottom of the board to remind you of it. What grinding is it allows you to use 2 labor to earn 1 coin. Now that you know about structures, I'll explain the last function of Province, which are the goals. There are 5 goals. These are the goals' names and their explanations. The worker goal. Employ 2 workers besides green workers by hiring sailors or by building the camp or village. Structure goal. Be the first to own 4 structures. 2 VP structure goal. Be the first to own 2 structures that are worth 2 victory points each. Labor goal. Earn 5 labor on a single turn. 5 coin goal. Possess at least 5 coins. Once you complete a goal, the player who completed it takes that goal token. It's worth 1 victory point at the end of the game. Then, turn the next goal face up. If a new goal has already been completed by a player, give it to that player. If it's been completed by both, discard it. Now we're wrapping up. Just to repeat, once one of the 3 game-ending events are met, either all goals are completed, a player's built 7 structures, or one of each structure has been built, the game is over. Each player should count up their victory points earned by structures and goals, and if one of the players still has the lender coin, they lose 2 victory points. Whoever has the most victory points wins, and if they have equal victory points, there's a tie. Now you know how to play. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to pick up your copy of Province from our Kickstarter campaign.